Subaru WRX 2016 Lineartronic. So it's missing a pedal, yeah? No clutch pedal. But we'll see if that makes too much of a difference to this car, which has become, let's face it, an icon of the performance driver. This is the premium version we're driving, so it's got the leather upholstery, sunroof, Harman Kardon stereo system, and a few other little electric bits and pieces, sat nav with some nice features to it, and it's $55,000 with this this Lineartronic transmission, so it's getting up there in price, but it's still a WRX, so it should still be very rewarding to drive. Now, Subaru tell me that about 90% of WRX buyers now are buying this version. Okay, so they're going for the premium spec, which puts another $5,000 on the base price, and they're going for the Lineartronic, and it just feels a little bit more grown up. I'm wondering if that's going to have taken off some of the edge, the visceral edge that we've always come to know about the WRX and always loved about the WRX. And what I can say from the get-go is that the Lineartronic transmission, which has these 8 sort of approximations of ratios in them, it's pretty good around town. It's certainly still got that feeling I find of a little bit of elasticity in the response of the throttle, so you do get that slight flare where the revs pick up, then the car sort of catches up to the speed of the engine, or the implied speed that the engine provides you. So it's still that disconnect between engine speed and road speed, but it's not too bad. And you've always got paddle shift controls on the back of the steering wheel, so you can still take control of that as gears. And when I say gears, I say they're only sort of faux gears. They're 8 sort of ratios that Subaru have programmed into their constantly variable transmission to give drivers some feeling of surety that the car's hanging on a particular ratio. And that works pretty well. It does work pretty well. It does give you that feeling that I'm in third now and I just want to go. Apart from the turbo lag, which is still a little bit there, it's a reasonably responsive pickup. If I go to second and get rid of the turbo lag, because we're doing 3,500 RPM now, yeah, there's certainly still a little bit of delay and still a little bit of what would you say, fluidity in the pickup on the drive, but it's a lot better than it would ever be without that those stepped ratios. You could easily live with this all day, every day, and not really know that it was a WRX. If you took the badges off and you gave it to your grandma, she said, oh, it's a bit firmly sprung, like that, but you know, she wouldn't really ever feel intimidated by it. But we want to be intimidated by a WRX. So later on we're going to shoot out into the country. I'm going to meet up with a mate who's got a WRX STi, and it's a manual. What I want to do, as I try to do with all my videos, is give you some of my impressions about living with one car versus living with the other car. These mirrors are great though. They've got these great door mirrors. They're quite big, they look quite tall, and they're both convex, so they give a really nice wide field of view. And even at speed, you can still fold them back, make yourself go even faster by reducing that wind resistance. So that's quite nice. Sometimes it's the smallest things in cars that really get you goat and get you wound up, or alternatively, really make your day. And with this WRX in 2016, they've done a very clever thing by putting a little camera underneath the passenger's door mirror, so that when you're coming into a curb, a parking space, and you want to get nice and close to that curb, but you certainly don't want to scratch those lovely 18-inch mags, the camera will automatically light up and show you exactly where the curb is. So I'm just going to show you now. That little display on the right-hand side of the central display is going to light up. I put the car into reverse, and there we go. I've got a nice little guideline there, that yellow guideline that shows me where I should aim to have the curb. So if I put myself about there, I know I'm parked nice and close to the curb, but I'm not scratching the wheels. So that sort of stuff is really nice. I like that sort of way of thinking. Thank you, Subaru. The Lineartronic version of the WRX adds quite a bit of weight to the car. 58 kilograms. Now that's a lot of weight. That's like carrying basically 3 cases of wine around all the time with you. Right, black shirt, black car, that means it's an STi. Ooh, a clutch, exciting. Straight away, I noticed the noise. Got a much more beaty boxer drum than the WRX. Quite a stiff clutch pedal, but it feels good. Oh, it feels good to have a clutch pedal, I've got to say. I find myself kind of running out of things to do driving a WRX with the Lineartronic transmission, because you've got your paddles and you can certainly select the gears, but it's that coordination between a clutch and a gear lever change with your arm that really makes it part of the whole experience, I think. I guess I'd sum it up by saying, look, the WRX is good. It's good, all right. There's no doubt about it. But this thing's evil, and I like evil. Looking back at this car versus the STi, the black car we drove, the WRX certainly has more range to it. You don't have to be up for a good time. You don't have to be in for a hear 'em scare 'em ride to find comfort in the WRX, because comfort is largely built into it. It's not so much a priority for the STi. With the STi, you've kind of got to be in the mood to participate and be an enthusiast contributor to the experience on every drive. It could become a little bit boring. I don't think so, but I think it would certainly challenge people to stay focused on the experience that they want to get out of the car. Ultimately, the STi is more rewarding, but I guess the WRX, the popularity of the WRX certainly comes from its ability to handle both the enthusiast driver and the relaxed city commuter and everything in between. So for that, it's doing a great job, a really great job.